keep changing where we're going. Typically, we have forms so that people can fill them out and speak. And I appreciate what you said. I don't remember saying malcontents, though, but you also, I know you were talking about there being Brown Act violations, but you never gave any specifics. Instead, you went to Jim Brescia and just started acting like everything's wrong. And so I can take criticism. That's fine. And so specifics are always good. And so I don't want to waste everybody's time. If you've got something, I'll gladly talk to you afterwards, or send me the specifics.
But I look at the table here. We all used to have computers because we were on board. No, we were on agenda online. And in this agenda, which you guys don't deep dive into, there's a statement. I wrote it out so it would be clear to you, but if you go into your board docs, it says these things, and they're not optional, and the process of using them is what the state.
Okay, and so now talking about getting chaotic, a board policy is 3 minutes per person. So I'm sorry, I will try to hold to what they are. So I appreciate it. And I can take criticism. So I will look at that and try to correct it. Okay. So
yeah. So since you guys can't really see it unless you take the
right, but I'm trying to try policy. So policy's 3 minutes, and you're continuing on.
No, I have it here.
Oh, okay. All right, then we'll look at it. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, I just wanted to.
I get it.
Clear. And
I can handle criticism. I appreciate it.
You've already taken a step, which I have on there about including the comments.
Right.
Thank you for that.
Okay. Thank you. Anybody else have any comments?
So the first name I drew was Trustee Schuler. Would you like to vote for a name?
Vote for a name?
For board president?
Yeah, we each vote. He'll pull them randomly and then you vote.
I'm guessing then I vote for Pete Schuler.
Makes sense to me.
It didn't sound very sure.
Trustee Brownell?
I voted for Steve.
Steve's not running, so
you have to vote for either somebody who wants it.
Does anybody else want it besides Steve?
Well, it was Pete and I.
Do you want to continue on, Chris?
Sure.
Okay, then I vote for Chris. I want to also add on my vote for you, Chris, because I've never stepped in, and it's probably my turn. I would never step in to this juncture. Never. Like, there's targets anyway.
Yeah.
But I just want to say the learning curve, I'm still learning. Like, I think we all are. And I would venture to say that even Mr. Wilson in his seasoned time here was still learning. So I appreciate that you're still learning and taking the helm. And so you're not perfect, so we all know that. And with your imperfections, I'm going to just go for you. And Pete, you can have your go at this next. But I feel like you're gaining some ground here. You're gaining, like, it takes time. And I feel like you put in the time, and it just, even more time, you're going to just be more efficient, better at controlling Steve from flirting or whatever.
Yeah.
So I just feel like, I don't want to cut you off just yet. Like, that's why I want to vote for you.
I appreciate
qualifying and letting the public know why I still support you as president.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And I'm not perfect. I've been on a board before, but it was a private company, much different. So there is a learning curve on this. And again, I can take criticism, and I appreciate your comments, and I'll look at it.
Trustee Wright?
Are you asking me, do I support Pete?
You need to vote a name, yes.
Pete.
And Trustee Guile.
Pete.
Okay. Pete Schuler is new president.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
It's heavy.
I am?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. I just want to say Chris has done a great job. Just following Chris and Val the last couple of years is really going to be an opportunity to see what the president really has to do and how much he's doing. I look forward to working with Scott. So our next item agenda is board clerk. Do you have any comments for that? I will be vacating that position. So it was up for grabs. So if anybody would like to be board clerk or.
I would, it's fine, unless anybody else does.
Great.
Trustee Guile,
Aye. He's the only one running, so it's yes or no, right?
okay. Trustee Schuler.
Aye.
Trustee Wright,
Aye.
trustee Brownell, trustee Castillo.
Aye.
And then we need a motion and a second and a vote for designating me as secretary. This is standard
Before
stuff.
we move on, Mr. President, I said your name and I never made a statement as to why. I think that Chris, you've done a great job. Yeah, there's a learning curve. And when Gary and Ron and I were on the board, we had lots of problems, just like anybody else would. And we always got over them. We got through them. I think everything that you've done has led us through probably the most difficult times I've seen here. The pandemic and all the reaction to things that are going on, which we've never had before. And that's new. And I think you did a great job. I don't want you to misunderstand my vote. I think,
I'm fine with it.
no, I know that I want to make it,
Good.
I want to make it
I appreciate it.
clear to you.
I appreciate it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, we're going to qualify our votes then. I want to welcome you, Pete, as our new board president. And I was just merely keeping on with Chris because just there's something to say about continuity is not the right word, but continuity, consistency, getting more seasoned at what you do. So anyway, so I welcome you, Pete, as our board president.
Thank you, Susan. And okay. I'll just say that we discussed this kind of last year, and Chris and I were talking about it last year. I just said that I didn't feel I was ready for it, and after this year, I think after going through all that stuff, I just thought I'd throw my name in the hat. And good. Appreciate everything Chris has done.
Glad.
It's been not sure, but it's been a tough job, but I look forward to giving it a shot. So I'd like to make a motion to designate the superintendent as the secretary to the board.
I'll second that.
Trustee Wright,
Aye.
trustee Brownell,
Aye.
trustee Guile,
Aye.
trustee Castillo,
Aye.
and trustee Schuler.
Aye.
Thank you. Passes 5-0.
And Scott, do you know who our representative was last year? No, last time.
I thought it was you.
Yeah, I think it was.
You did a lot.
I got called for anything. So do I get to appoint somebody? Then
If somebody wants to volunteer,
anybody like to be the representative to the governing boards?
I'll volunteer if nobody else does.
Well, I will appoint trustee Castillo.
so motion by trustee Schuler for trustee Castillo to be the representative.
Second.
Okay, trustee Brownell,
Aye.
trustee Wright,
Aye.
trustee Castillo,
Aye.
trustee Schuler,
Aye.
trustee Guile.
Aye.
Thank you. Passes 5-0.
And our last organizational point is our meeting schedule for next year. Is everybody okay? We'll take a
Since you're going to discuss what times board meetings should be held, I thought it would be a good idea to hear a little bit about the history. When I was first hired in 1982, the school board meetings started their open sessions in 7 and had their closed sessions after that, and that continued on for many, many years. Later, the board had their closed sessions begin at 5:30, and the open session was slated to begin afterwards. Currently, the open session began at 5:30. Starting meetings that early makes it nearly impossible for people to show up, as witnessed last month when 2 board members weren't here when the meeting started. It seems to me that a more reasonable time to have open session would be 7. Participation in meetings is a good thing. It's part of participatory democracy. Stakeholders should be able to attend these meetings. Attending these meetings gives them the opportunity to see all the good that's happening at school and participate in the working of the school that their children attend. I would think that the school board members would welcome that. At 5:30, parents are still working, coming home from work, picking up children from sports practices or after school, fixing dinner, trying to get homework completed, and settling the children down for the evening. Scheduling meetings at a time when people cannot attend does not serve the community. If you want to start the meetings early, it would make the most sense to have the closed session first at 6 and then have the open sessions begin at 7. Thank you.
Sure. Oh, we got one more.
Hi, my name is Daniel Pugh, and I'm a parent here. And so I just wanted to follow up with Susan Matthias there, because the 5:30 time is very difficult as a parent. My wife doesn't get home until 6:30. So I have the kids. So I either have to find childcare to get here on time or something along that sorts. With Zoom, it was a little bit easier, you know, try to keep them entertained and trying to do the Zoom thing. So just if you could take that in consideration, you know, she mentioned like if the closed session was at 6, open session at 7, I think that'd be great because no one wants to be here till 8, 9 o'clock at night, I'm sure, especially when we're outside like this. But having that for parents that one or the other is working. So it'd be nice if my wife and I both could attend, granted getting a babysitter or something like that, but having it later, so that is an option. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
It's horrible being a dinosaur and looking back so far. Susan goes way back, but I was only 22 years on the board, which was about 3.5 years ago. I got off the board when you guys all started, you know. But I concur with both of these things. All the reasons they said are what made the school more representative at the time, and that's what we need. That people are here participating, and I'm going to blow this, but the Brown Act has 4 corners to it: accessibility, participation, and then the backside of it is transparency and accountability. And the more in 1953, the idea was the more of this we had, the better our government would be. The less that went on behind closed doors. None of us want that. And when you're over, you know, you guys have been on this side too. If you don't know what's happening or you don't feel you can get at the information, it's frustrating. And, you know, even though it might not be nefarious, it's just doesn't work as well. And so this, people were talking about 6. I went through all your agendas, and you don't take a break with time on closed session versus open session, which would be helpful. That's what we used to do. Hannah Held used to do that because it also, you know, you could see what was going on. And I look at your agendas. When you guys, your finish time, you start at 5:30 and you're finished around 7. I know there's certain longer ones, but that goes kind of back to the chaos. If things are running smoother, you don't have as much controversy and everybody goes home. You'll have those meetings which you had where there's one person out there, or there's none, because you don't have the controversy. And it's like you open the door, people feel that it's open, and there's just more trust, and your constituents, I think they'll reach out to you more because that you don't feel as distant from them. And I just also wanted to point out that this is kind of a Cayucos standard. Well, it is. The advisory council, same setup, 7 o'clock open session. The third largest elected body is the sanitation district, 7 o'clock, because they want people to be there and present what they have. And some people take it as a negative, but it's a positive. And the more people you have come in, I was making a big deal about being able to speak during the actual item. And thank you for making that change to start with, because I think in Cayucos, you have a lot of smart people, and they bring ideas to you if they can be here. And I'll tell you, Steve, you probably remember sometimes for somebody to come up and there'd be an idea that we hadn't thought of, or that kicked off an idea. And so again, the more people you can bring in, and especially on the issues that are more controversial, it actually can lower the temperature, and I think that's good. Another example is I did look over every agenda last year, and the Pete and Val were late to more meetings than anybody else, because they're okay, but there's a reason they're working. You guys who aren't working, it's not a big deal to you, and so, but here you have people who want to serve and they can't even be in all the meeting. The solution, if you do the 6:30 closed session, I would say 6:30, because there's rarely a meeting that goes longer, and you can, with a note in your agendas, you can flip over to the back side. You can add that on if you need it. And so if you're starting at 7, you'll basically be home an hour later, and we'll all get to watch Matlock, and everything will be great. But anyway, I really want you to consider this, so we can, I think it'll help what we need to do, and again, lower the temperature. So please consider a 6:30 if that works, or if you need 6. I was addressing the chair as you're supposed to, and he's over here. So anyway,
looking at me.
Yeah, I know. No problem. Anyway, thank you very much.
Thanks for everybody for pointing out my tardy.
Yeah.
Yeah, when we were on the board together all those years,
Grateful.
we met at 6.
That was it. I argued every time, so I'm done.
No, but we met at 6 and had a closed session at the end. And the problem with that was people didn't want to wait till 10 o'clock at night to hear what went on in closed session. They had to get home. All we did is took the closed session at last end and put it in the front. So we still start at 6 o'clock. 5:30 closed session, and we start at 6. So it really, the only thing that changed was closed session, which people had to sit around and wait for us to get out at 10, 10:30, whatever it was when we finished. But I just wanted to explain why the start at 5:30, because you really don't need to show up at 5:30, because we go into closed session. And we start at 6, even if closed session is nothing to speak of. That's all I meant. I just wanted to explain where we were.
6 is too early.
Okay.
You got 3,000 people here.
Oh, I know. I know.
Anyway. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Can we have a discussion about
Yeah.
what has been up there?
Yeah, I guess we have time for discussion on that.
What do you think, Steve?
Steve, what are you thinking here?
I have no problem. I'd say go into closed, but
I could see us going into closed session at 6. We start the meeting at 6:30 as a compromise. It also gives us time to get something to eat for dinner besides sitting here, starving the whole time.
Grumpy?
So all that we really need to set is when we're going to do our open session, because the board president, depending on what's in the agenda, may want a closed session either before or after or both.
All
Well, I mean, I'd recommend 6:30 for open.
right. Do you have any more discussion on that? 6:30 okay with everybody?
I'd like to see the closed session at 6:30 and the meeting at 7. And the reason being is plain and simple. If you're working, most people don't get off of work until 5:30 approximately. And 9 times out of 10, they're working in some place other than Cayucos.
Yeah.
And so that means that they're going to have a half-hour drive no matter what. And it just seems to me that it makes it a little more accessible. It allows us to have dinner if we're not working. I don't know. As long as the meeting didn't go until 10:30 to 11 o'clock, as I remember that happening once when you were on the board. And I don't know why that would be. Maybe it was because some people talked a long time, but at the same time, if it can be done, well,
So your idea is
I'd go to 7.
you're considering a 6:30 close
6:30 closed, right?
and
Exactly.
a hard cap at 9?
Yep.
Can't do that.
We had a hard cap, yeah. For the long
I think
time.
by law, you have to be finished at a certain time.
Okay, so but we carry, that.
Okay, any more discussion on the board? Shall we, I don't have a real preference on both of those things gonna work. Streetlights are already out, so I'm already in trouble.
I'm fine with later. It doesn't matter to me. So
We ought to have a vote, or do we have consensus with
We
it?
need a motion and a second and a vote.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if somebody wants to make a motion.
Susan, how are you feeling about this?
Not popular.
I want to know what
I
you,
like the earlier meeting,
Okay,
but
all right.
I hear the community's concerns but so it's not popular, so I'm just gonna shut up.
all right, so should we just, you go,
I'm sorry, we all need to use microphones so they can hear online.
I had the microphone.
so the motion is when the meeting will start, not closed session, right?
Right, so the motion is when the meeting starts, 6:30 or 7. So we go for a vote for each, or just ask for preference? Okay.
We just need a motion
So, what-
by somebody.
I'm fine. Doesn't matter to me. So whatever. You just have to make a motion for the time.
I make a motion, we start the open session at 7 o'clock, 7 p.m.
I'll second that.
So wait, are we, when 6:30 is closed, we're
Right.
starting the meeting at 7?
Right, right.
Okay.
Well, close could vary,
Yeah.
but the open
now,
session would be 7.
6:30.
So we had a motion by trustee Guile, a second by trustee Castillo. Trustee Wright, would you like to vote?
Excuse me, we do still after the motion, we have discussion. I just want to
Yes.
ask you a question. Is it a hardship for you?
A little bit. I live out in the country, and the later it gets, yeah. So, a long drive home. However, I will say, because the meetings have been moving along, our meetings prior to, we used to go till 10:30. I said, I'm done. I can't think anymore. These meetings went on and on and on, and they haven't now. So it hasn't been a problem at all. If now with you, Pete, if they go on and on and on, we're gonna have a hardship here. So,
Marching order.
anyway, I'm just saying that and the other thing that I've noticed, is we had a season of time where there was no involvement at all. We heard from nobody. We were begging for people to come. Not a peep, not a word out of anybody.
We were doing the right thing, that's.
So, you know what? COVID has brought out the worst in everybody, and that's the best.
Is that a second? All right, do a vote?
We got a motion by trustee Guile, second by trustee Castillo. Trustee Wright, would you like to
What
vote?
time did you say that before?
7 PM, closed, open session, 7 PM was the motion. Trustee Wright, are you affirmative?
Yeah.
Yes. Trustee Brownell,
Aye.
trustee Guile.
Aye.
Trustee Castillo,
Aye.
trustee Schuler.
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0, open session at 7 PM on the dates listed on that calendar because you did not change the dates.
Right.
Okay, thank you.
Both times on the agenda. No, I know, I'm just saying it's clarification for people.
Bring it in.
I know.
Come on, Pete.
We're not following and then
Well,
you're
it was,
enforcing
it was
it.
determined we didn't have to decide when we were going to close before or after, so we're going to leave it at that. And
We still list
that'll be
closed
your,
session.
that'll be your weekly surprise. So let you know, surprise. Um,
Motion to adjourn.
do we have any action items? Calendar, we're all good, right? So meeting to make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
Will we not go in?
You can't make a motion.
All in favor?
That's right. I'm sorry.
You can-
Aye.
Like to make a motion.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much for